Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 3 of our quest for the Frozen Flame adventure path. When last we joined our band of scouts in training, they had continued to perform services to the following to prepare for the night of the green moon. Heading down towards the waterways with Picano to gather ceremonial water, they raced ahead, challenging Picano to a sprint, which Farron effortlessly won with their skilled capabilities. And in the distance, they saw a shiny spear sticking out of the ground. Picano rushed forward, ripping it forth, a tattered banner and a mummified, kind of burned hand hanging from it. He challenged everybody to the right to the spear to a wrestling contest, which Teddy took him up on. Wrestling Picano, Teddy easily beat him to the ground. He, frustrated, complained and ranted about Teddy cheating and not putting up a fair fight for massive size and unfair advantages, but he begrudgingly allowed her to take the spear. It was at this time the party noticed that the river water appeared coated in murky ash and was somehow fouled and despoiled from something coming upstream. Picano, having nothing of it, scooped up the ashy water and headed back, angry and upset. The party went upstream to investigate. They stumbled across a gurgling voice coming from the water, eventually spotting it to be a fey creature, a bird-like creature known as I'm always pronouncing it wrong. A lolly or
I think we settled on it, Lobby.
Lalabi. Yeah. That. Concerned that they might be trying to trick them into doing dangerous things or perhaps kill them, the party engaged in a battle, quickly wearing it down, as well as the elemental water creature that came up. And Talon continued to flex his one strike, one kill policy of laying to waste everything he hit with his Gosarme and massive barbarian strength. Realizing that the source of the ash was too far for them to travel, they decided to instead use some mystical powers and cast prestidigitation to remove the ash from the water. Heading back, they engaged in some conversation with Grandfather Iowa, and they swapped out some of Pocano's despoiled water. The next day, they headed out towards Rockloom, where they discovered that one of the ancient Raven stones was broken in half. Tracing the paths and engaging with a flock of raven creatures, they managed to discover a small fey creature known as a Korid by the name of Shaggy Shembin, crying and desolate, but broken the statue to try to woo a raven woman who he is madly in love with. Our band of scouts were able to convince him to join them in their travels and help them repair the statue, especially once he discovered that they had hairy mammoths that he was quite excited to get to pet. Recruiting him into the following, they headed back to the camp for the night. And that is where we will pick up in the morning. Now, at the time, unfortunately, Lanatuk got sick on Mammoth's milk and wasn't present for the activities that occurred at Rockloom. And as you stir in this morning, Mama Bear and Mona, they don't stir for the scout training, and get the impression that they've made the decision to continue just caring for the mammoths and no longer desire to continue the path of training to become a scout. As you gather up in the morning, Lanatuk feeling much better, get a small summons towards Grandfather Iowa's tent. It'll give you an opportunity to chat with one another before we head inside.
Are you doing better, Lanatuk?
Doing better. Just that's a little hungover.
Maybe you should stick to vegetarian milk from now on. I think the mammoth milk might be a bit too much.
No, that sounds like a wimp's move if you ask me. Got to develop a stronger tolerance.
Well, I tried.
As you catch Lanatuk up on the activities that occurred the other day, you make your way into Grandfather Iowa's tent, where you have many times gathered around. You see in the small, squat tent where Iowa usually spends his evenings, the old man stoops beside his fire ring, playing with the cooling embers within. His expressive face, wrinkled from many years of good humor, is now a portrait of sadness. "Come in," he says. He pokes at the embers with his stick, staring at the flames. "Sit, please. I had hoped you would never need to hear the story I am about to tell you. Or at least, I would not be the one to have to tell it. He offers a rueful smile as he waits for you all to take your seat around. He idly plays with the coals, and you notice next to him his hand sits on the tattered banner that you found on the spear the other day.
Have you discovered a meaning for what we found?
Yes, young one. But how? To make a long story short, I'll try to put it simply. In the Ethgir, in the before times, when even my ancestors were young, we, the broken tusks, he gestures to all of you in the surrounding area, were once called the Burning Mammoths. In those days, our migratory route was large, as was our herd, and we carried with us a powerful light, the primordial flame. And as he says this, he spreads the fire's coals into a wide, flat layer. In the center of the coals, a perfectly round pebble glows red hot. Then, the great quake shattered the eastern lands. He tips a large jagged rock from the fire ring into the coals. Far as we were, our people still felt the thundering hoofs of the demon horde. And as you watch, earwigs and pillbugs scatter out of the hole left by the upturned stone. Our mammoth lords argued over what to do with the light. In the end, some of us took the primordial flame. We hid it where it would be safe. With his stick, he separates a few coals from the rest and then moves the red-hot pebble next to the small group. The others called us traitors. We went east, and they went east to face the demons, taking the banner of the burning mammoths with them. And as he says this, he gestures towards the tattered flag that you found upon the spear. Weak, but determined, we then chose to take on a new name. The name you bear, the Broken Tusks. Ah, but that was long ago, and much has happened since, he says as he drops his stick into the fire. But now the burning mammoths have returned, and in time for the night of the green moon. He sighs, shaking his head sadly. I cannot say what this means, for the ancestor spirits are silent on this morning. They do not whisper to me what is portent. But my bones tell me this will not be a happy reunion. Thank you for bringing us the news and artifacts that you found. Few others within the following would ever know what this even means, including several Your fellow Mammoth Lords, I hope you can understand my concerns.
Are we all there for this?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I expect so.
So she would show him the spear that was attached to the standard, and she says, when Picano found this, he said that it was a sacred item. It was attached to a burned hand, and this, she points to the flag, the standard for the burning mammoths.
Sometimes I fear Picano. He seeks too much to go back to the old and brutal ways. I have been trying to teach him the history of our following, but I fear perhaps he has taken the wrong lessons to heart. It troubles me deeply.
Is there anything...
You say you took the flame and didn't send it to the demons? As in, did you just take it in the dead of night, or did you just decide the flame wasn't to be used?
My ancestors took it, running off with it, to hide it so it could not be brought to bear. My mother and some of the other Mammoth Lords sought to keep it safe from the demon hordes to the east. But alas, that is the worst part of this story. He stares at the glowing rock in the fire pit, still burning tight within that small cluster of coals. We did not hide it well enough, for it was stolen. And he looks away, almost unwilling to meet your gaze.
Yeah, like Talon is looking like medium pissed off, where like, you know, big pissed off is like cut something in one strike.
Close to raging.
Yeah, because he's a world-wounded veteran. So, you know, he's not super happy that there was a weapon here and it was sort of held back.
Sort of as he looks back, he notices your anger. You do not understand. If the demons got a hold of such an artifact, the world wound would probably still be open today. We could not chance that it would fall.
So who was it who stole it, and what did they do with it?
I don't know. That is a tale for another day.
Yeah, I'm just going to mutter under my breath. Maybe your sister Cinder always intended it for to be used and not hidden. Like, not like trying, you know, me. Like he's not like trying to hide it completely, but he doesn't want to like say it like full volume.
Just like muttering it under your breath.
Yeah.
Whether Awa hears you or not, he has the courtesy at least to not acknowledge it. You can't tell if he heard or if he's just pretending to not have heard.
You do be an old man. You have old man years.
So what do we need to know? What are we to do if they mean for this reunion to be
Foul.
Yeah.
For now, the best we can do is prepare for a quick departure after the ceremony in the morning. There are several tasks that you could help with around the camp that would perhaps help us make a hasty retreat when the ceremony is complete. If you would be willing to do so.
Absolutely.
Of course.
Around the camp there, cleaning up, gathering materials, tidying the camp is important. Checking the trails to Rockloom and the ways outside could help us ensure that the pathways are clear for a quick escape. Tonight will be a feast of celebrations. Many of the broken Tusks will seek to drown themselves in libations, perhaps beyond the point of sensibility. And he kind of looks at Lanatuk a little bit as he says that. Just like side eye, like grandpa side eye, like that knowing look.
Teddy just chuckles.
Perhaps spending some time watering down the alcohol so people would have a clear head could help.
How are we to be sure that they wouldn't try to attack sooner if they were to attack? Or if you think that this could be a foul interaction, how do we know that it'll be after the ceremony even?
Well, the last settlement they attacked was a good distance off, so it's more likely than not that they aren't even in range to fly out to attack us yet.
There's always a risk, but we cannot cancel the ceremony. The following is looking forward to this too much. We have had a harsh winter, bringing in the journey of the spring, breaking their spirits in such a way. We must take this chance for the spirits of everyone here.
Maybe we could post some guards. Some who maybe don't mind watching for others.
I mean, it depends on how big this following is. Like, if they outnumber us greatly, like, a few guards will do nothing, but...
But they could warn if they're approaching. We could flee.
That is another option, perhaps. As well as gathering up the herd to make sure they're ready to move as quickly as possible.
I feel like you might have a bit of a problem getting some members of the following to abandon the camp if that were necessary.
I mean, we were planning to travel afterwards anyway, like, weren't we?
Yes,
like,
but...
weren't here,
Yeah, we've been planning to leave.
Yes, but when faced with combat, people's honor and their pride keeps them from running away.
We are not much of a warrior tribe. We've always
your
attempted
son.
to live in harmony with those around us.
I'm speaking of your grandson.
Well,
At this,
He is
Teddy gives you a
headstrong.
look.
Yes.
I mean, the Kano is just one man. Like, either myself or Teddy will grab him by the ear if we have to and drag him along. You know, we don't want to do it. Talon says this in a way that he definitely wants to do this. But the option is there.
Teddy's just considering carrying Picano over her shoulder.
Of course, Teddy is.
Might try to commit ritual suicide after that, Shane.
But
Whatever
hopefully
you decide. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just saying, as a sort of someone who used to fight in big armies myself, big armies are slow, and we are small. Like, if it comes to running, we should have a bit of a lead, and we can at least travel faster.
I would hope we know the terrain better as well.
This has been, your traditional migratory route for generations.
And with our new, we have a few people who could set up snares. We could potentially slow them down on our way as we go.
I don't think 1 or 2 snares will stop an entire
No, but
following.
potentially we could slow them down a little bit.
It would have to be quite a large snare, I would imagine, to slow
Yeah,
down.
I think it would slow us down more than it would them.
It's not a bad idea. I just do think that our resources could be used elsewhere if it comes down to it.
For now, let's just focus on the ceremony and focus on a quick departure. And it may be that we have weeks and weeks of head start, or we might not even run into these burning mammoths. They might be here doing something else.
Maybe. Let's just do as grandfather I asked. And
We should
clean up the camp, get people ready to go for tomorrow. Right? Because it's
Mhm.
tomorrow that we're supposed to be leaving.
Yeah, and the ceremony's tonight.
Okay. And just make it as easy a transition for tomorrow as we possibly can.
Yeah, Lantuk, you wanted to say something?
I was basically going to concur that.
Okay. So as you gather your plan, Father Iva looks at you. He's like, whatever you decide to do, you have 8 hours at the most to prepare. Then we must head to Rockloom to prepare for the ceremony. To be there in time.
Right?
So what were the tasks again? So we can better delegate them, maybe?
So the ones he listed were cleaning up the camp, diluting the alcohol, clearing the trail to Rockloom, and gathering up the herd. And you had also come up with a task about trying to convince people to be guards.
She was thinking herself.
Lanatuk will have nothing to do with diluting alcohol.
Alright. So, to explain how this goes real quick, we're going to be using a little subsystem for where you earn preparation points, just to break down how this goes. Each of these activities requires a certain amount of time to do and a check to do it in order to earn points. Critical successes get you bonus points. Regular successes get you basic points. A failure is no points, but you could try again. And a critical failure, you spend that time and you get no points. So you lose the time on a critical failure. If you fail twice, it counts as a critical failure. You lose the time, but you can still try again.
Can we enlist the help of other people? Like, for gathering up the mammoths, can we potentially ask Farron's sister?
Nope. For this particular thing, for every activity you want to do, the entire party must be present for each one. So you can't split off and do different tasks at the same time to save time. And only one person can make the check.
Ooh.
Okay.
Can we still aid, or
can we know what the checks are so we can...
Well, when you pick a task that you would like to try to do, I can tell you what it is. You get the impression that cleaning up the camp and diluting the spirits will be the fastest tasks. Clearing the trail and gathering the herd would take the most amount of time.
I think clearing the trail and getting...
Those are probably the most important.
Yeah. Getting the mammoths ready, clearing the trail, and cleaning the camp are probably like the priority stuff, because we want to be ready to go as fast as we can.
You notice how Lana didn't mention diluting the alcohol.
Yeah, we're going to dilute the alcohol too, because that's probably a big deal.
No.
Lanatuk, I think that you would be really good in charge of the task of diluting the alcohol.
No, he wouldn't.
Lest we
will have-
want a repeat of the other day.
I will sabotage the dilution of alcohol. Excuse you.
I mean,
So that you're
you're
sick again?
diluted
Yes.
in a way. He could like drink all the alcohol so other people couldn't, I guess.
I like the way you think.
Did you meet
I
our
would
friend?
think that he would dilute the water content in the alcohol with more alcohol.
Wait, there we go. That's also a good idea.
All right.
Or
So
maybe you need to
let's.
reverse the thinking.
What are we doing
You're not
first?
diluting alcohol,
Should we
you're
gather
diluting
the
water.
herd or clear the path first?
Okay.
I think
If we left the tent, Talon would just like to, as soon as we're out of earshot of Grandfather Iowa, he's just going to scream "fuck" really, really loudly in the middle of camp, and then act as if nothing happened.
So,
many people are staring at you as you scream out.
Teddy
in
completely
camp.
ignores it.
Farron just
Oh,
fully
sorry,
acts
Margaret.
like they didn't hear anything.
Yeah, same.
Oh.
So we're gonna gather the herd first. I think maybe we could clear the path to Rockloom on our way to Rockloom.
I don't
So
know
maybe
if
that should be our last one because we're going to Rockloom.
is that something we can do?
We can do it last. That could be our last task.
You could choose to do it last if you wanted to. You can
Okay.
choose the
Is it
stuff
gonna-
in any order.
Are we gonna not be able to do it? Do we have enough time to do it?
I think
It
that's for
depends
us to find
upon
out.
how well you do.
Okay. All right. So I think
And if
gathering
you
the herd
repeat the task too. So
probably our first thing to do.
All right, so yeah, let's get to that then.
So
Who is good with
well,
with
what
animals?
I'll say is I misspoke a little bit earlier. In this particular case, as a party, you could attempt to enlist the aid of the herders and Emek to try to gather the herd, or attempt to do it yourself. So as you
Okay.
approach, you see the herds kind of spread out and around. Emek is kind of laying down on the ground, kind of looking where the porcupine was the other day, slowly like rolling berries out that
Oh my
way, trying to
gosh.
befriend the porcupine, and talking excitedly with Shaggy.
Yeah, I think we would like to enlist their help if we can.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I think that would be the best call for that.
How weren't able to have them help?
So
That's
you could, yeah. So you can try to enlist their aid by making a diplomacy check, or you can try to make a nature check to try to gather up the herds yourself as you approach.
I got some good diplomacy. Let's do it.
Yeah, go for it.
Lanatuk. Tell Emek that I will tell our parents about the skunk if she doesn't help us.
Was that intimidation?
That's intimidation.
I think
That's
that was
not.
a much.
That's not diplomacy.
I think there's a much easier way to do this than with blackmail.
I mean,
Um,
I'm still going to tell our parents either way.
Well, don't tell her that.
I just won't. I won't be the bearer of bad news here.
I'll respect that.
I'll let you break that news to her. Lanatuk will approach her, and he'll like crouch like next to her as she's like rolling berries to the porcupines. You know.
Hi, Lanatuk. Do you see the porcupine? I think I'm making a lot of progress. And Shaggy nods. He's like, yes! It's so cuddly. Not as much as a mammoth, but so
Shaggy.
It's funny you should mention Mammoths, actually, because we have to.
Who are you?
I am Lanatuk.
Oh, that's right.
I'm one of the members of the tribe here. I was supposed to be there yesterday when you were found, but I was
As you kind
under the weather.
Shaggy kind of stands up. He's only like 3 feet tall, and a braid of his beard slowly floats out, kind of forming like this hair type hand.
Lanatuk will shake it.
Another member that befriends Shaggy. Will you help me find my Raven Queen? Oh, the love of my life. She's so beautiful and amazing.
It would be my honor. However, at the moment, we have something very important we need your help with.
You need Shaggy's help? Is it putting a stone back together? I'm so sorry about the stone. I didn't mean to.
No, it's fine. We're not putting stones together. We need assistance gathering the mammoth herd. So we need you and Emek to assist us.
And Emek kind of looks up at you and then rolls another berry at the porcupine. He's like, we're not moving out until tomorrow. I'm trying to befriend the porcupine. I called her Piney.
Well, maybe giving the porcupine a break of the berries, maybe she'll be hungrier later and more willing to accept more from you then.
Make a diplomacy check for that particular. And we'll see. This will count for your
Okay.
for the whole check to gather the herd.
I'd like to add my circumstance bonus to it.
From
I
your
think I could-
star thing, you rolled an 8
Yes.
last time. So
Yeah, so I think that's +2.
I believe that's +2, yes.
Okay.
From consulting your astrological charts.
I have to. This rolls it right, yeah?
Right. Emek pouts for a little bit, but then brightens up. She's like, You're right. Okay. Shaggy, do you want to learn how to gather up the mammoths? And he's like, Can we ride them? She's like, No, but we can help move them around. We'll go find the other herders and we'll push them where we need to go. And he's like, Oh, can I pet them? Oh, they're so hairy. And they start kind of skittering off towards the rest of the herd. And slowly start kind of gathering them up as though to prepare for the way forward, which will earn you 2 preparation points.
Lit.
And how long did that take? So we can keep track of how many of the 8 hours we got left.
So you kind of are there supervising as you go through. It takes quite a bit. The creatures are rowdy and frustrating. It takes close to 3 hours to finally get all of them moved, avoiding the porcupine, moving them to where they need to be. The tapers are trying to kind of run off. The herders bring them in as much as possible. You have to assist a little bit here or there, but it takes 3 hours to get the whole herd of everything together.
We're definitely not going to be able to do all of this.
We have 8 hours to go. Okay, so
5 hours to
5
go.
hours left.
right, I meant all together.
Yeah.
8 hours. And that took 3, so 5 hours. All right, let's clean up the camp and dilute the alcohol while we're here.
I'll have no part.
Well, you don't have to. I will.
Maybe we should
Or-
clear up the
Perhaps
trail.
our medicine expert could potentially do that.
I mean, if
Maybe
you
we could-
wanted to have a part, you could test to make sure that it's diluted enough. Just a little sip.
I'll think about it.
Maybe we should clear up the trail. You know, we don't want to be too busy like diluting the alcohol and not do the most important thing.
But
you know?
those are the 2 quickest things to do: is clean the camp and dilute the alcohol.
But the trail is more important. Strategically, at the very least.
But we're gonna go up there anyway, so we could clear it as we go.
But we've got the light now. Why waste it?
Do we have an estimate about how long, if things go well, clearing the camp and diluting the alcohol will be?
So the
Or a
size of the
general
camp,
idea?
you could probably clean up the camp in about an hour, and diluting the alcohol, that would take a while. You got, get to where it is, open up all the casks, water it all down. That would take about an hour as well.
So that's
Provided you, pass your checks and don't have to repeat
That's-
the task.
3 hours potentially left. And do we know how long it takes to go along that path to...
It'd be a couple hours to clean out the whole.
So
trail.
potentially, if everything goes well,
We have plenty.
we could have an hour left over.
You know, if
Right. So, clean up the camp is the quickest one.
all right.
So we should probably do that while we're here.
Mhm.
The camp is a pretty large mess. Several members of the Broken Tusks have been enjoying their time here, kind of, preparing for the ceremony. There's loose tools everywhere, materials out, food, bundles of like, wood and transport materials. Well, most people haven't even started packing up yet. So you could spend the time tidying up yourself, which would be a crafting check, or you could attempt to try to convince some of the other members using a society check in this case, kind of read how they would organize it and kind of get a couple people on board.
I am untrained in society.
Does
I
anybody have
think-
crafting?
I'm trained in
very-
society, but I've got no.
I have a good crafting bonus.
Okay. Well, we can try to do it ourselves with crafting.
Sure. I have neither, so I will not be of help.
Yeah, I'll be 0 of help.
Who would have thought that Lanatuck would be leading the charge on all these efforts?
Lanatuck skill monkey.
Skill monkey.
Lantuk.
Okay, so do we want to get started then? And
Yes.
I'll roll.
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, go ahead and roll your crafting check.
Oh!
Holy shit. Alright. Well, with a nat 20, Lanatuck, maybe taking the afternoon off was just everything you needed to get in gear. With a surprising efficiency, Lanatuck begins just moving hastily through the camp, directing all of your efforts as well. He helps you all kind of start stacking things up, using prestidigitation to clean off like dust and wiping things away. After about an hour's of work, several other members see that you're cleaning up. They feel inspired watching Lanatuck work, because it probably isn't that common an occurrence. And as you finish kind of cleaning up the camp, a small, smooth stone kind of stumbles into the ground that stands out just a bit. You recognize it appears to be some form of blank rune stone that you could possibly inscribe or transfer magical runes onto.
Ooh. I'll pocket it.
And you'll earn 2 preparation points for that.
It's 4 total.
Nope. Every activity is worth a different amount of points.
Okay, and that's 2, and
Should we
It
be
took
Well,
us-
yeah,
tally
you have 4
overall?
total. Sorry. Yeah.
took us how long?
That took an hour.
An hour.
Okay. All right, so let's go dilute the alcohol. Much as you're loath to do this.
I think that it would be really good for you to watch alcohol get diluted.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know why it would be. I just think that it would be entertaining to watch you react to it.
All right.
Don't worry, Lanatuck, I've got you, and I'm just going to use my athletics to cover his eyes.
I'm gonna.
True MVPs.
While we dilute it, Lanatuck's going to try and use some sleight of hand to get him some pre-undiluted alcohol, in a
We
water
can
skin.
always give them
What's-
some pre-undiluted without the sleight of hand. Just an FYI.
Well, he doesn't know that, so he's gonna try and sneak it.
We just
Isn't
don't want
he,
the
like, the
entire
smartest one of
tribe to
us?
be drunk. That's all.
As you, there's barrels of alcohol relatively scattered throughout the camp, but the majority of it is stored in kind of one central location. Several members of the Broken Tusk are kind of milling around there as you begin to approach it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So what's the check going to be to dilute it?
All right,
Well,
Bella,
first
it's
you-
time to clear out.
We probably
What about-
have to get inside first.
We're about to commit crimes against humanity here.
Right.
Should we try to divert attention elsewhere so we can get inside easier? that people
I
noticing.
don't know that people are going to stop us.
We'll just tell them that we're on a mission from Grandfather Iowa and
But this is the
to get
alcohol that
lost.
they are going to be consuming that night.
Okay, well, we'll tell them to get lost and that this is per Grandfather Iowa.
Go ahead, you can tell them. Let's see how they react.
Okay. So that's what she does. Anybody who's there, that's what she tells them.
So you walk up and yell at these
No,
guys.
she wouldn't be yelling. She'd just tell them, like, hey, look.
Teddy, what's she talking about?
Grandfather Iowa gave us a job, and all of you need to vacate for now. And you can lie bait later.
We're checking the spirits to make sure that they are perfect for tonight.
Spirited.
Why is Falcon House sending people over here to Muskox's house?
Because we are still the same community after all.
We're all the same following, right?
Make a diplomacy check.
Who? Oh!
Get wrecked!
What?
I'm turning Dice So Nice back on. I know it was crashing everyone's computers, but y'all got bad rolls on it.
Oh my god.
You know, if that's what Iowa wants, fine, we'll clear out. I'm sure we can find something to do.
Thanks.
You know, I think that if you go over to where the herd is, Emek can tell you all about her new friend, Piney. It'll keep you occupied.
No offense, Farron, but I can't deal with Emek's chatter today.
Oh, Emek.
I'm gonna, as they're walking away, I'll grab their arm and be like, make more alcohol. Quickly!
Alright, so...
It takes several days to ferment all the herbs and everything in here to give it that nice hallucinogenic quality.
You'll find a way if you want me in a good mood at the end of this.
We're packing up to
Teddy,
head out.
like, walks over and wraps her arm around their face and just closes her muscle.
Oh my god.
And drags them inside.
Go have fun with Emek.
Do you want an athletics roll for this?
Lana Tuck, are you gonna fight it? Or let yourself be dragged away?
Me?
Yes,
no.
you.
No.
Okay.
Okay. So you kind of wrap your arm around.
Just my bicep,
And just flex against Lana Tuck, slowly dragging him into the tent where the rest of the party is. You come inside. There's about a dozen or so barrels. You feel you'd have to crack them all open in order to dilute them. And there's a few different tasks you could do. You could attempt to try to either gently kind of crack open the casks with thievery and try to make it so things aren't noticeable that you tamper with it, or you could use medicine to figure out the right way to dilute it the best without as much care for secrecy, but definitely a care for how to properly dilute it.
I don't have thievery. I was thinking that potentially...
Yeah, also, I think the secrecy's kind of...
yeah, we've been seen here, so...
think that we would probably... Mainly I could probably be more successful if we were to try to sneak around this, though we have already been seen here.
But I think you are our only option anyway, as far as medicine goes.
Excuse me, Teddy. I didn't receive all these punches and claw marks and bites to the face and not pick up any medicine.
Oh, you got medicine?
Yeah.
Well, then...
I have no wisdom, but I have medicine.
Oh, okay, well, then...
if you go...
the medicine expert.
If you go thievery, you'll essentially be pouring water into all of the casks, and if you go medicine, you'll be swapping out the herbs and roots that they use to like spike it in the final stages of the party to to make it less alcoholic and less hallucinogenic.
Okay.
I
Well,
think that we should probably dilute them so it doesn't visually look like we have tampered with it. Because if the herbs and the roots are missing,
they're probably
then
gonna
people
be
will
like,
notice.
yeah. All right. But that's still you.
Yeah, it's a +5 versus a +7. I'm gonna take the +7.
All right, go for it.
I'm gonna fill my wineskin
Woo!
with that.
Give me 1 second. And we are back with our second half of our quest for the Frozen Flame adventure path. As the following makes its way towards Rock Loom, the sun begins to set. The following makes it to the Circle of Stones. Several of Argakoa's song singers begin telling tales of the ancient origins of the land. Argakoa tells of the first winter when the whole world, even the great moon above, she gestures towards the sky, was turned to an ashen white. When spring finally came, the moon was so happy she gave birth to a river of stars. This river, known as the Moontail, still visible from spring until autumn, dancing in the night sky. But come winter, the moon protects her children by hiding them under a blanket of darkness. Tonight we gather to celebrate the night of the green moon, the beginning of spring, where the tundra thaws. The green grass begins to grow once more, and the moon reveals her children to the world once more. And as they tell this tale, the following bust out barrels of alcohol, food that has been gathered, moose stew, chunks of meat from the animal you slew, flanks of roasted meat, and a great feast takes place. As everyone begins their celebration, every cask broken open, alcohol flows freely across the following. Do you all partake?
Yes.
No.
A little bit. A little bit.
I'll have one.
Lanatuk. The liquor is watered down from your experiences in the and your activities in the camp earlier
I
in
will
the
be
day.
drinking from the wineskin that I filled.
Okay, your wineskin.
Mhm.
It's gonna make me a fortitude saving throw.
It
My
would be
gosh.
my absolute pleasure. Let's go.
Here we go.
Lanatuk imbibes heavily of the liquor.
I wouldn't say he'd do heavily.
Not heavily, but through the skin. And you begin to get tipsy and drunk. And you'll take on a bit of the sickened condition. Until you won't be able to shake this off at least for quite some time. The imbibed wineskin kind of makes you feel a little queasy, reminding you perhaps a bit of the previous night or 2 nights ago celebration with the mammoth milk.
Oh.
As members, what were you saying?
Can I read the stars while I'm drunk?
Sure, but you'll take a -2 circumstance penalty.
-2, it's a D8.
You roll a d20 and then you choose and based on that check you get the d8. Don't you? Or am I
No,
remembering
it's
it wrong?
it's just a flat D8.
Oh yeah, you just rolled a flat d8. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, just roll the d8. All right, for some reason I was misremembering it.
Oh yeah, I want to do that.
All right. I always forget that one's a d8, not a roll a d20 to get your d8. So, as they clear the feast away, Mirthgig, the firekeeper, leader of Muskok's house, lights ceremonial bonfire. And you are asked to place the ceremonial water before it.
I do so.
And Pocano
Same.
approaches as well, places his jug of ceremonial water there.
And so does Teddy.
Vern does the same.
Mirthgig gestures towards the fire. This fire is good, he proclaims loudly. The rest of the tribe cheers. By the grace of Sister Cinder's gift, fire, we know right from wrong, and we choose right. More cheers erupt from the crowd. But the water represents life. When combined, he takes a small scoop of water in his hand and he throws it on the flames. Fire and water are not always conducive to one another, but they can also produce great things. Good food, such as the stew you ate, thanks to the help of our scouts. But if you place too much importance on a single life. And he spritz more water on the flames, and it poofs and disappears in a puff of steam. Or on the lives of a group. And he pours a larger amount of water, and a bit of the fire goes out in one corner before slowly growing back. You can stifle the greater good. Water and fire. These are integral to the way of the broken Tusk. And they allow our following to survive the harsh realities here within the realm. Step forward, all of you. And he steps back, and Grandfather Iowa steps up towards the flame. And as the standing stones of Rockloom rising above the plain, each of the animal sculptures glowing orange in the last flush of the setting sun and the shining light of the bonfire, Grandfather Iowa beams at the assemblage, his wrinkled face appearing more youthful with the addition of colorful paints upon it. He stays silent for a moment, staring at the flames. Ah! He shouts suddenly, and the rest of the following shouts back in unison. Ah! They echo across the plains and then fall quiet again. And the old man smiles. It is a good night. The green moon has graced us with good weather. The Gornak River has blessed us with water. And our scouts have honored us with good food. Tonight, we mark the moment that winter turns to spring. We also mark the transition from friend to follower. As he holds out his hand, Mirthgig approaches and hands a handful of small tokens into his hand. Together, let us honor our newest Tusks. The crowd begins whooping and cheering. He gestures towards Talon for you to approach.
I do so.
Talon, you have been with the following for a short time, but already you grow in our ways. Your strength has brought great honor to the Tusks and fed and kept safe many of the following you see before you. Thank you for lending your strength to our group. And he holds out a small talisman of the broken tusk, carved into your house's animal sigil. It's your ox house, right? I'm remembering at the last moment. Otter house, sorry.
Otter.
Yeah, otter house.
Yeah.
So carved into a small otter symbol. And we just toss this out. I lost my place in Foundry. These will be items that you all receive that will be in the loot sheet. So
I will respectfully accept it and just give a grateful nod to Murphy, I think.
I'm gonna put this. Alright. The broken tusk pendants are out in the loot sheet for you guys. And as Kent steps back, he gestures to Lanatuk.
You pull stuff from the loot, bitch.
What?
How do you pull stuff from the loot sheet?
You just drag drop to your inventory sheet on your character.
Ah, I see. Lana took a step forward.
Lanatuk. You came to us as a mere child, and it wasn't long before we discovered that you were graced with wild power surging through your veins. This gift has marked you special beyond what many would have seen, and others in the realm might look on you with distrust. But you have always used your gifts to help those of us in the broken tusk, and have excelled in embracing your gifts into the ways of the scout. I couldn't be prouder than to welcome you in your new role as a scout of the broken tusk, having grown and found your place within the follower, being able to now know you are true within this following. And he hands you another carved otter.
Lana took will sort of shakenly and slightly drunkenly, like, politely bow before returning back to his place in line.
Theodora.
She sort of grins at the long form of her name.
You know, formal ceremony. A giant amongst the broken tusk. But beyond just your strength and skill, inside of you is a giant heart as well. Always seeking to comfort those within the following, but unafraid to display your strength when needed. Growing up in the following without a mother was challenging for you, I know. But we are your mother, and you are a daughter we are all proud to have. And we welcome you to your new role as a scout of the broken tusk. And he hands you a small broken tusk amulet. You're also Otter House, right?
No, she's
No, you're the different one. You're Falcon?
Nope, she's Moose House.
Moose. That's right. That's carved in the shape of a moose, of course.
She takes it like it's the most precious thing ever. and bows like super deeply before just assuming her place back in line.
Baron, daughter of Falcon House, please step forward.
They do so. Very slight face at mention of daughter, but still steps forward graciously.
My child, long have you been a member of Falcon House, and I know you have struggled to find your way and your true calling. But I see in you a life, grace, skill, your keen eyes, and fierce determination, even outrunning Picano in a race. I think at last you have found your way. It fills me with great pride to welcome you to a true follower of the Tusk and a pride of Falcon House. And he hands you an ornately carved falcon.
Sorry. They take it and just gonna bow their head a bit. So thank you.
Picano. Picano struts up. Kind of prideful, hands on his hips, kind of looks at everyone like he deserves to be there.
Teddy's just grinning ear to ear.
You have done well, Picano. Welcome to your new role as a scout for Falcon House. And he hands him a falcon medallion. Picano kind of takes it, kind of looks confused a bit, and comes back to the line and glares at the rest of you. And Shaggy Shemvin, is it? And Shaggy kind of grins and gets up. He's like, what? What? Please, I'd like to welcome you as a new friend of the Broken Tusk, and a small gift for you. And instead of receiving a pendant, you see a small but beautiful black and blue hawk's eye gemstone that Grandfather Iowa hands to Shaggy, and just tears of joy burst from his face as he just starts weeping happily. Thank you. It's so beautiful. Thank you for welcoming me. Oh my god, thank you. And he kind of goes back and he beams at the rest of you as that happens. And Grandfather Iowa steps back, having completed the rites of the ceremony.
Teddy's just cheesing super hard when Shaggy gets his gift, and he's so excited.
As it looks like the following is preparing to disperse, suddenly, Picano shouts out, "Aren't you forgetting something?" And all eyes turns to this young man, standing glaring at Ewa. It's time! The time has come, Grandfather, his face flushed with anger. You must announce your successor. Who will become leader of Falcon House? The following begins gasping and whispering. The insolence of Picano to accost Iowa at this sacred ceremony. But Iowa just shakes his head. His face not cracking, still remaining passive and stern. Like, you are headstrong, Picano. And hasty. Tonight is not for you, but for all the broken tusks. If not now, then when? And if not me, then who? Don't tell me you're actually mistaking these fools for true followers of the broken tusks as he gestures his hand towards the rest of you. Ewa offers no response. A stern glare upon his face. Picano steps forward, then glares at the rest of you, scowling, his eyes full of hate. You'll be sorry. To everyone, he begins to launch into a tearful tirade. You'll all be sorry. Before he can finish, a loud, oscillating cry interrupts him. In the darkness beyond the circle, you see first one torch begin to sprout up, and then another, and another.
Are these our warnings?
Several more. Everyone looks around in confusion. Murmurs rustle throughout the following. Yells and cries begin coming out. Monstrous faces covered in blood-red markings emerge from the fiery darkness. Everything becomes a blur. People begin scattering. Cries come out. As an attack begins to emerge on the ceremony, you hear Weepa utter a sharp cry, dropping to her knees, clutching her pregnant belly. As Nocta, the healer, rushes to Weepa's aid, you see Picano backing away. And we will enter initiative as soon as these torches I set up actually turn on.
It's time to kill Picano.
Oh my god, the Dornness.
And one of these broken tusk guards that you recruited, not drunk as the rest, steps forward to assist in the fight. And we will begin with Lanatuck as I set some mood music.
Hey, now you finally get to have your turn in initiative.
I do, and nobody's in range for me to do anything. I suppose I could tackle Picano. Because I mean, it's...
Wellspring Surge.
Ooh, I do get Wellspring. Wait, do I? Does
Yeah,
it?
when
Is
you
it
roll
Somehow
initiative.
didn't have anything to do with this. This is
Oh, hell yeah.
that other tribe.
I'm thinking he has something to do with this. He's literally saying, you'll all be sorry, and then the attack comes.
And they interrupted him.
Oh, that's a little suspicious to me.
So let's see. Wellspring Surge is.
Start of combat or particularly stressful situations that might
Yeah, you
trigger
got
one
him.
as long as
I'm rolling, where's the thing for it?
it's a flat check.
You have to attempt a flat DC 6 check first.
Okay.
So
I
roll
will
just
do
a
that.
D20.
Oh.
A D20.
Damn, that would have been a good, DC 6.
So a 3. So that is a failure, right? So a failure, you generate a Wellspring Surge with a spell level chosen randomly from your top 3. So that will be a level 1. So go ahead and roll me a d20 on the Wellspring Surge table, which you'll see. If you look at your upper right corner, right?
I got it.
Yeah. All right.
Roll at the bottom. I see. Ooh.
Strike up the band. For 1 minute, you're followed by an orchestral theme music tied to the content of the actions. Bonus to diplomacy, intimidation, and performance check minus the deception. And well, I guess we will give you some nice music for that.
Awesome. The background music is real this time. All right. Intimidation. Let's see.
Being 30 feet for you to demoralize.
30 feet to be demoralized? Fuck. Speed is 30, right?
For your elf speed, yeah.
Fuck. Well, I got time. I mean, the literally only thing I could do is run at them. Or get in range. So I suppose I'll do that. And I can't move.
You should be able to now.
Okay. There we go. And then I'll...
Teddy.
Okay. Weep is down. Can I see from here? Do they have weapons?
Yes. So each of them is carrying a torch in one hand and a club in the other.
Okay. So... I think that's as far as I can go.
Alright, so that's all your actions for that?
Hold on. Right. No, that's 2.
Yeah,
And then, she would shout out to them. What was the name of their group?
Burning Mammoths.
Burning Mammoths.
Do you hail from the Burning Mammoths? Are you?
As you get closer, you actually notice these people, there is deep and extensive scarring across their heads and chest as though burned from like rivulets of flaming oil or something. It reminds you a little bit of the scarification you saw on the body you found in the river.
On the lady?
Yeah.
Okay, and we know that she was a burning mammoth, right?
You can probably make that connection now between the spear that you found, the body with the burns on it, and now seeing these guys.
She'd say then, have you come to celebrate with us?
And they just let out a guttural shriek. Are you attempting anything else?
No, I think she would stand her ground, but she was going to try and talk to them before doing anything. Put herself in the way of Whippa.
This guy pretty much rushes forward to there, and that's his whole turn.
Oh my god.
So as he rushes around behind him, your allied guard member, he's distracted and confused. He starts looking around, and then he makes a torch strike, hitting him. Well, we'll see if he hits. Attempting, critically missing. As he attempts to swing at him with the torch.
Oof.
And then tries to follow back up with a club strike, which does hit for 4 damage. Talon.
Yeah. I'm gonna move. Yeah, that's not really close enough to intimidate. I'm just gonna move a full 60 feet, and that's it.
Baron.
I think I'm going to. I'm assuming this will probably take my entire turn, which I'm okay with. Going over to Weepa and helping her and Nocta get away from this.
With your intrinsic medical knowledge, you immediately recognize Weepa's gone into labor.
Of course.
Which means you probably can't move.
Is there any possibility that I can try to move Weepa?
Yeah. You guys can attempt to try to move her out of the area.
Yeah. Is there a check for that?
We'll just let you move her at half. It'll be like difficult terrain, so half speed for your other actions, and she'll kind of come along with you. So wherever you want to go at half your normal movement.
Do I have 2 actions left?
Yeah.
Okay. So I can get her probably at least back near Shaggy.
Yeah, you could.
Yeah.
That would work.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'll use my entire turn to do that. Just to get her a little bit away from that.
This guy lashes out with his torch and critically hits. For 4 damage. And as it strikes him, he's set ablaze as the torch begins to burn him alive.
Well, it's a good thing we talked him into doing that for us, you know?
And he
That poor
follows
bastard.
up with a club strike, which doesn't work. And then he kind of rushes over this way.
Do I get an attack of opportunity now?
Do you have a reach weapon?
Yeah, I do.
Which weapon do you have that has reach?
The spear.
The spear doesn't have reach.
I also have a whip.
You have your whip equipped in your hand?
No, I don't.
Equipped, as you might say.
Then you do
But
not
if he
get an attack of opportunity.
rushes into my space, I don't?
Only if they move within your reach to any space. So stepping into it won't cause it, but if he takes another step around you, it would.
Okay.
Unless you had a reach weapon, in which case
And then
the first
he's...
10 and then the
okay.
next step would have triggered it.
Gotcha.
I can only intimidate if it's trained, right?
To demoralize?
You know what? I'm going to make that a critical with my hero point because I can.
Woo!
Alright. That will that'll be
24 damage.
That's
Streak is still
enough
alive.
to one strike,
Damn.
one kill.
Yep, and that's all 3 of my actions.
And uncharacteristically, Teddy spits on her.
Hi. I am going to attempt to tumble through just 10 feet to get to the other side.
Alright. If you can do me a favor, if you target them and then click the tumble through action on your skill actions.
Mm-hmm.
Is it there? Yeah. And then that will do the roll and tell me automatically if it succeeds or not.
Great.
It'll tell you automatically as well.
I'm trying to click it and it's not doing anything.
Click the roll button.
Here we are.
Well,
I want to hero point that. Hero point.
Alright. With your hero point house rule to make it a success, you tumble through to the other side.
So they're now flat-footed. And now I'm gonna hit them 2 times with my rapier.
Dark
Let me
Souls moves.
Enable abilities that require target to be flat-footed. Here we are. Oh my god. Okay.
Not having luck right now.
It's the day of 11s, apparently.
I rolled an 11 before, so I feel ya.
Oh
What?
my god. Oh wow. Wow. That's bad luck, Farron. As they tumble excellently through the mammoth hunter's legs, stumbling a bit, they get up and they strike and fail to make purchase. Unfortunately, they'll no longer be flat-footed. They only count as flat-footed for the first strike, but and they will strike at you with their spear and miss. And they'll try again and miss.
What are these same number rolls?
And then they scream loud and shouting and attempt to demoralize you.
Do I need to...
No, it goes against it. It doesn't work.
Cool. I was... Just as a question,
Yes.
since demoralize usually has a verbal component, would that benefit me in any situation?
Maybe actually.
Being demoralized.
Maybe, yeah, because they have to understand what you're saying, and so normally if they don't speak a language that they know, they take a -4 penalty. Since you have a -2 penalty to kind of hearing based perception checks, I think it's fair to give them a -2 circumstance penalty on auditory demoralize. Some demoralize, they have intimidating glare and other things, but we'll carry that over as a little bonus for you there.
He attempts to demoralize you in sign language.
I
Damn.
love that. That's great. Please don't.
I cannot reach a bitch this turn, so I guess I'm running.
All booty.
Yeah. Here. And moving double is all of your actions, right?
No, it's one
Yeah.
action for each move. So, and my network is lagging. Like my internet's struggling right now.
Oh, I'll stay here. I cannot end my turn. There we go.
Already ended.
Teddy. It's 13 misses. If you're talking, we can't hear you, but if you're just rushing up and attacking.
Sorry.
Wow, unmuted.
I forgot that I had pushed to talk for a second. So she would run up and she would try and stab him, but obviously she misses.
That was 2 actions to get there, right?
Yeah, so that's the end of my turn.
Alright. This broken Tusk is still really emboldened and charges as best he can over here.
Yeah, good for him.
He could actually make it... Nope, he could make it here. He can't get to a flanking position for you. And he's just gonna keep on burning alive here. I missed 1 damage from earlier, actually, so...
Can we give him our hero points to stop burning?
Yeah, can we?
No.
I mean, you sort of put it.
Darn.
This one... Oh, drops its sling, grabs its spear, and stabs Teddy for 4 points of damage, but that'll take all of its actions. Just switch
Can
over.
I attack them back with an attack of opportunity?
Does putting a hand on a weapon have the manipulate trait? Change grip. Let's see.
I think it does.
If it's an interact action, I believe it does have the manipulate trait. Yes. So as such, yes, you can. Damn fighters.
Woo-hoo!
I'm not used to people having attack of opportunity.
I still miss.
Alright.
Is that my
Man.
damage? Or no, that's the burning... Or is it? Yeah,
Yeah, you
that
took
is my
4
damage.
damage earlier. Damn fighters. Attack of opportunity. Can't freely use interact actions. It
Yeah,
is
so-
Talon, it's your turn.
I'm gonna stride, and then I'm gonna use sudden charge. So I will stride twice, and then
then-
just strike.
Yep. You should be able to get there.
Oh, need to target him.
Sudden charge. The fighter in heavy armor's best friend.
I'm a barbarian.
A 23 hits. Is it going to be a 1-hit, 1-kill, though? That's
I'm
the
gonna hero
question.
point to it.
Oh, please let it be.
You're going to hero point it to make it a critical?
Yeah,
Alright.
needs to keep
Delete
it
that.
alive.
Alright,
Beep.
critical. That'll do it.
Are
Oh
they
my
sure
God.
they want to do this?
This
Did
is
we
I'm
just
gonna
kill
go
their
with-
boss?
This is getting ridiculous. To date, every creature you have hit has died on the first hit you hit it with.
The streak will end one day, but it's not gonna be right now.
Are you out of hero points?
It is not this day.
No?
You still have 1, right?
Yeah.
Oh, we got one from the end of the...
Yeah, from
Yeah.
the end of stream.
Oh,
you know
that
what?
means I have one.
This is the whole reason we did the hero point house rule, to make them more impactful and great storytelling. Baron, it is your turn. What do they want to do?
Because it was definitely so useful last time, I'm gonna try this.
To tumble behind again?
Yeah, because
Alright.
it definitely worked.
You
Then.
can do it. It's gonna work
I-
this time.
I believe.
I
Roll,
lost for the
roll an
tumble
11.
through. All I gotta do is roll. That's
a
a
success.
success.
So you tumble through, and
And then I'm gonna
they'll
whack
be
an attack.
flat-footed. It's only on the first strike that they're flat-footed. So that is a hit. That worked.
Hooray!
Only because they're flat-footed. So see, They'll take 8 damage. They'll not be flat-footed for this one. So
And then a multi-attack.
that
Ooh.
also hits.
Yay. Wait, did that... Okay, that did add sneak attack.
Yeah, you won't have sneak attack for this one though.
Okay, yeah, I just wanted to make sure that that added on the first one. Oh, nice.
And how do you end this battle?
Oh, stabbing it.
you tumble behind and just go ching, ching, 2 quick stabs with your rapier, and he falls dead to the ground. Things are not going well. The majority of the following has fled. With the falling of the long shield, the majority of the following managed to escape. The burning mammoths are scattered, unorganized, as they attempt to ransack the place. What do you guys choose to do at this point? You're out of combat. No enemies.
Probably run.
Is Weepa still down?
I'd like to help
Magda.
our friend.
I'm sorry, what were you saying, Talon?
I would like to help our friend, like, put out a fire on him.
Okay, you eventually... Well, let's see. Well... Okay, that's enough. He's no longer on fire.
How does he look?
Hurt.
Badly injured.
Actually, I'll show you how he looks. Because he's friendly, not hostile.
I more so meant like how, like, health wise.
Yeah, that's what I'm showing right now.
Badly injured.
Oh,
So-
okay.
They say badly injured for me, so
Yeah, he's not in
Yeah.
the best shape. He's burned, scarred, almost looks a little bit like these burning or mammoth guys that you fought.
we know that there were part of our following at one point.
Well, considering they're disorganized, we should probably rout them before they,
Yeah, but is everybody else okay?
Everybody else has fled. So there are dozens to hundreds of archers raining down arrows around Rockloom, and huge swaths of people, torches lighting up the horizon, heading in your direction.
So we need to
you're
flee.
right. Yeah.
Good to go.
Where's do we notice where Picano ran off to?
You don't.
All right.
How much money you want to put that he's joined his little buddies there, huh?
Just before we go, I'd like to take the long shield's corpse and just cut the head off and just display it and say you're next to like all the people firing arrows, and then I'll run heroically.
You want to loot the corpse as well, or just cut the head off?
Yes, let's loot it.
Loot it.
If you double click on the corpse, I think it'll bring up the loot inventory, actually. I think that works now for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We try to loot the other ones.
Ooh.
Ooh, pretties.
I will hold on to that rock. Rock.
I would like to take the shield. Do the others have ever burning torches as well?
As you look through, only this torch seems to be a mystical torch that never goes out no matter what, as all the other torches start guttering out on the ground,
Oh.
slowly beginning to cast the area in more darkness.
All right. What is a shield, boss?
It is a attachment you can put on a shield to use it to smack people and make attacks.
Oh, yeah.
So
I'll take that too. Let us go.
Alright, you guys rush, joining the rest of the following as you make a hasty escape with the initial waves of the invaders defeated, you finally get to take a small breather. The preparations you made earlier starting to take their toll, or show their worth, rather. As the 5 remaining Mammoth lords coordinate everybody, taking a quick head count, you realize that it appears the following has escaped unscathed. Injuries abound, but nobody appears to have died.
Is Picano here with us?
He is not.
What did you know?
Letsua bows his head and raises a hand, waiting for everyone to be silent. Not in my long memory has such violence befallen us during what was intended to be a joyful celebration. My heart wilts with grief. Sister Cinder, give us strength to take up the fire and find bright righteousness in this dim hour. Return to camp as quickly as possible. Gather your things. We must leave. As hundreds of tiny fires sprout in the horizon, heading towards Rocklume, the silence of the night is pierced by the cry of a small infant, quickly followed by another, and then another.
Whoa!
As during the battle, Weepa gave birth to triplets. On that note, you're all level 2. And I believe that as we end chapter 1 for Quest of the Frozen Flame, so it's an early session tonight, perhaps this would be a good stopping point before going forward, as we explore the realm of exploration and trying to guide the following of the broken tusks to safety from the horde of the burning mammoth, if you're all okay with that.
Yeah.
Sure.
Alright, well, with that said, thank you for everybody who joined us tonight and on Twitch. And as always, join us in our Discord channel below, a gaming community of over 1,600 tabletop gamers who just love to chat, share, and play. For the community is what we are all about. And we will see the rest of you at a future date, either here for Quest for the Frozen Flame in 2 weeks, or next week for Legacy of Ruin. Thank you, everybody. Have a great and fantastic night.
Goodbye!